Hello, y'all. Welcome to Bam Bam Raw TV. I'm Bam Bam, aka the 411 Giant. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you know my next video coming out. On this episode, we gonna do this on Trump's and this DC takeover and what Trump is doing with this DC takeover. But first, I wanna bring this here reminder. We're laying by the basketball players. When people rush to do things under the wrong authority, under the wrong leadership, when they rush to do things, it come back and hurt them. It has always done that in history. It come back and hurt them. And the same thing happened before. And Larry Hoover said, they keep on. He said this him on Look at the Ghetto Boys, I think is resurrected. He said that for long they're gonna have us locked up in our own neighborhoods. Okay. But this is what I'm saying. At the guise of keeping it safe or keeping this here, there's a scream that you can go through. The fact where you start dismissing human rights, dismissing individual, animalizing the individual for the smallest reason, then you're gonna watch out because it's gonna be turned at you eventually. All they need to do is get the ball rolling. They don't even care about those little people they getting. They're just setting it up to get you later. Now, Len Bias was a basketball player, if I remember correctly, and he actually freebased and overdosed. And they seen that as an opportunity to lash out basically at the black community because they knew that a lot of black community was dealing in the drug called crack. The white folks and more upper class folks were doing the freebasing and the cocaine and stuff like that. So they put it on crack. They said the man had OD'd on crack, and poor black families, y'all lost a superstar. He gonna be a superstar. The black community, they hurting. The black community lost a superstar going on. We finna pass this bill. It ain't gonna never happen no more with the crack. We finna pass this bill here going on. The man who put together the crack law under the Democrats, the man who wrote it himself came back and argued to make the decrease it to 100 to 1. They made crack 100 to 1. They made the ratio 100 to 1 if you get caught with it. That means if you had 1 key of crack, it was equal to 100 keys of powder cocaine that mostly white people and upper people dealt with. And that's just being honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I ain't got a racist bone in my body. I got white brothers, white friends, and white wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you the truth. You know what I'm saying? I fool with people. Now, this stuff. So now they get that. They go to this man, told this man, I need you to write it up. I need to write. This dude wrote it up. And now that dude heard him for that. And that dude did everything he can. He reached out to people. He tried to get that undid. He said, man, I feel bad. He said, man, they had me to just put that up together in 3 days. Because what it was, election time and all that. So now the man himself who wrote the bill was against it. They eventually let it down. It's one of the things that got me out. They eventually did it, but look how many years, look how much our family suffered before they did that there. The right is right. If we did something illegal, we go to jail. That's it. But do we supposed to go to jail for forever for what somebody think we did? Or do we supposed to go based on a fair measurement in what we have done? You know what I'm saying? So now, and that's my thing. You know what I'm saying? And this is what's happening again. Them mamas, them grandmamas, and they put the bill in the bill. They said if your child, grandchild, or whoever have been arrested for a drug charge or whatever, and you in Section 8 houses, which most of us was, and you in this here house isn't going on where my mom was, but most of the people was. And so now when your son get out of jail, now he can't even live with you. Now your grandson, if he live with you, they gonna kick you out. And they was doing it. They were displacing grandmoms and stuff because they love they grandson just because he made a mistake. And so dope and got caught. I'm gonna let him sleep on the streets. But they were destined to have to do that because they were gonna kick them out the house. Now look at how that turned to something about laying by that's supposed to help the black community. Now it come back and they start affecting the black community. And all these grandmamas and mamas who was all up in the uproar for this bill, feeling sympathy for him and his family, end up being victimized by the same bill. That's come from rash thinking. Somebody sit a bill from you, and off of emotion, you just, oh, let go, let go, let's go. Yeah, that's right. Sudden happened, this happened. You got to think things through. You got to try to see what the unseen hand is doing. You got to try to look at the bigger picture. Now, hold on. I see this, but what is it coming after this? And you got to see it. If you rush off your emotion, you're gonna always make a bad decision. Emotions can send many more dudes to jail the rest of their life than anything else. Common sense ain't never sent no Negro to jail the rest of their life. But I'm telling y'all, need to analyze these things when they be done. They need to be stopped, or they need to be dealt with, or they need to be broken down and set right in the early stages, or it's going to be the very people that they claim they're trying to help that is going to come back to hurt. Now you watch. So now I'm getting back to Trump, getting back to what he's doing, the stuff he's going with the homeless. The man is trying to make it illegal to be a homeless. I know some people homeless that had jobs, lost their job. They didn't have no street sense. Now you tell them that if they live on the streets now, that you're gonna call that insanity and you're gonna lock him up. But hell, if they ain't got no job and they go try to sell dope to get some money to get a house, what you gonna do? You're gonna call them a criminal and lock them up. So I mean, what do? They living on the streets because they don't want to go to jail. They don't want to do no crazy stuff to go to jail, or they don't want to do nothing that jeopardize their freedom. But now, just for being homeless, because they done lost the job, you done got these tariffs with all these other people over here, and all these people that lost their job because of the export-import situation based on you and the tariff and all that ain't going on. So now you, because of your actions, a lot of dudes out of a job, and you finna end up locking those same dudes up. And it's crazy, man. It's just stupidity going around and going. But now I ain't gonna say stupidity. It's diabolical. It's diabolical, and it's set to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Dude ain't no fool by long shot. And like again, Larry Hoover said, you keep on, we're gonna be locked up in our own neighborhood. You shooting at each other, we shooting each other back and forth, going back and forth, you shooting at each other. And then that's a perfect thing for the Fed to come in. Oh well, okay, they can't handle peace, we can handle. We gonna come down there and get it. They can't seem to solve nothing, they can't seem to resolve nothing. Let us come take over their neighborhood and solve their problem for them. You stay in that place, you go, you call and you get a pass to go to the grocery store. You get a pass to go to work. You get a pass to go downtown because we got a police station at the entrance and exit of your neighborhood, and you got to go through that checkpoint just like they is in the other company. You got to go through that checkpoint. You ain't got no pass. Where you going? I'm Miss Lucille. I'm going to work. Where you going? I'm Bamm. I'm going to the store. Where you going here? Going on? You ain't got that pass. You ain't getting out. That's what they gonna do. And because our people are doing it to each other, and then they letting them come in to make their idea of resolution. Because you can't find resolution, they gonna come and give you their resolution. And I can guarantee you, their resolution is gonna be about solving their problem, which is get you some guns out their way and do what they want to do to you more than solving your problem. So you better solve your own problems yourself. You need to start trying to make resolutions and solve your own problems before these folks get that hand on y'all, man. You're going to regret it. You're going to be in jail while you at home. Now, moving on. Things they doing in D.C., they always, a couple of things happen. And my heart goes out to anybody who's hurt. But the hurt didn't stop there. Our people been getting lynched. They've been getting hung. They've been pausing through the Mesquite incident. They've been deliberately giving syphilis. They've been through everything it is going on. Stuff happened. All right, those individuals who did that, I got no problem. You want to take them to jail for it going on like that there. But now all of a sudden you're gonna wage war on that. But when Trayvon got killed, ain't nobody rage war. Ain't nobody rage on certain. It seemed to be double-minded on a lot of things. And like I said, not that I'm going there, but I'm just saying that's the way it looked. Now, it's so many of our people done suffered. So many people, period. Not just our people, Mexicans, and a lot of denominations is going on. You know, and then all of a sudden it's gone. the woman go here. The people can't get no reparation for the Oklahoma massacre. They can't get no reparation to nothing. But the lady who went against the House of Washington, D.C., got shot going against that, involved in a riot against the Capitol, which is supposed to be one of the most sacred things in America. But she gets shot in the process of this. And what happened? They give her family reparation. They give her family. Her family get money for that. All the people that were killed in Oklahoma just for making money and having their own Black Wall Street. They folks are still fighting, trying to get something and can't get nothing. Come on, man, y'all. It's ain't no dude to be fussing and going on, but I'm gonna speak it like it is. And when you see this stuff, it's so ridiculous, but people don't pay attention to it when it's ridiculous because they don't want to be involved in that conversation. But you got, ridiculous stuff and entertainment stuff is good, but that's not entertainment. Look at what's going on in D.C. You're locking you're locking people up. Catch a criminal. I did my time. Everybody else can do theirs. I got no problem with that, but you can't make homelessness, making a dude being allowed his job, can't take care of family, going through enough already. And now you're going to lock him up and make it a mental thing. You're going to make it a crime to be homeless instead of trying to find a way to help get these people back on their foot. And when it's your own action. I know dudes right now that lost job. Now they ain't lost a job. Best workers in the world, they lost their job because of the tariff that they put on and all the import-export situation and all the little things on. And so that now you got these dudes here, good dude, been working 12 years straight, ain't never missed a day. And now he ain't got a job, but right now if he's on the corner, and he put up a tent on the corner, well, thank God he ain't got to because he got us. But if he had to put a tent up on the corner, you telling me he supposed to go to jail? He ain't even the reason he ain't got the job. You the reason he ain't got the job. All right, y'all. We finna that's what I was talking about, and that's what I want y'all to be very, very cautious of. Quick decisions, emotional made decisions, And love y'all. Hit that like button, hit that bell icon so you know my next video out, and then hit that subscribe. I always subscribe. All right, I appreciate you. Peace.
The city of Shreveport is making national headlines after California Governor Gavin Newsom addresses the actions of President Trump for deploying troops in U.S. cities. Now, Shreveport city leaders are saying the city is in better shape than what the California governor claims. Hello, I'm Jeff Horchak. During a podcast with political commentator Brian Tyler Cohen, California Governor Gavin Newsom spoke boldly about President Donald Trump deploying the National Guard in major cities. Take a listen to what he had to say.
I think you should start with Shreveport, Louisiana, in Speaker Johnson's district that has 6+ times the per capita murder rate of Nancy Pelosi's San Francisco.
Well, Shreveport Mayor Tom Arsenault says though Shreveport has had a rocky past when it comes to murders, murder rates have been on the decline in the past few years. The SPD says to date, the city has had less murders compared to the past few years. And here's what Mayor Arsenault had to say about policing right now in Shreveport.
Love to have twice as many police on the street, and if we could hire that many, we would do that. But I think we have an excellent police force, and they're doing very, very well with the resources. Respectfully, I'm afraid Governor Newsom doesn't know what he's talking about, and we're in much better shape at Shreveport than he alleges.